This was the site of the original springs that bubbled out of the ground just west of us, flowed down these creek channels. The water dried up in the early 60s, haven't had any water since, and we thought it would be very nice to bring back some of that water, make these dry channels run with water again.
And modern-day Las Vegas is currently providing a consistent supply of water just across the way from the creek bed.
We knew that we had the source of water here in the cienega, which is wastewater that comes down a flood channel and flows into this big basin, into some ponds and wetlands we built there years ago. And we have some excess water that would just otherwise flow downstream, down the flood channel. So we devised a way to pump the water out of the cienega and into 9 habitat ponds.
But the thirsty desert soils demanded serious remediation before they would actually hold water.
We had to excavate the pond area, build a frame, and then put a rubber liner inside the frame.
Then, making them look and act as natural as possible took some extraordinary acts of plant and habitat recreation.
We didn't want them to look man-made. We wanted them to blend in. We wanted them to be attractive to wildlife and, of course, the public too. And so we brought in soils and covered the liners with soil. The soil was also meant to allow us to establish plants inside the pond. These plant species were hand-selected. We studied historic photographs and historic records. In fact, in all of the restoration of this site, we've done that. We've tried to stay true to the historic plant life that was here.
Although nature will take its course, in a few cases there are certain species that will never return.
When the springs went dry here from excessive groundwater pumping in the valley, we lost 2 species, the Las Vegas speckled dace and the Las Vegas leopard frog.
While these creatures are irreplaceable, we've taken the next best step of turning the ponds into a refuge for a similar amphibian and a particularly needy fish.
There are only 3 populations of prump poolfish in existence today, and its native population from Mance Spring in the Prump Valley it no longer exists, and so traditional refugium population would truly make a significant contribution to the long-term conservation of that species. In the case of the relic leopard frog, both Las Vegas leopard frog and leopard frog are very similar species, and so it's an opportunity for us to establish an animal that was very similar to what occurred here in the past. And again, we can make some real contribution to the conservation of that species here.
Which may be notable for what little water it holds, but it is truly remarkable for the deep significance of tiny, life-giving pools like these.
Just an understanding that there are these little jewels across the desert that exist in small ponds and streams is, I think, is important for people to understand living here in Las Vegas.